Hey there, YouTube. Whew, so I am tired. Today's bottling day. This is for the first batch of the Hefeweizen beer. So I've got everything sanitized. My bottling bucket's been sanitized and cleaned. The bottles are clean. The siphon, the tubing, that's all clean. Thermometer, all that's clean. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crack open the fermenter. You can see it right there. We're gonna crack that open. We're gonna thief out a little bit of beer to put into our flask or our cylinder there, and we're gonna measure the final gravity. Now, on this first batch of beer, we didn't take the original gravity reading. So what I'm going to do just for this first one, this is probably bad practice, but I mean it is bad practice, is I'm just going to assume that it has roughly the same original gravity as the first batch, because we made it in almost the same way. Moose! Hey! We made it almost in the same exact way. We're going to need to, except for we put the top on, so if anything the original gravity was probably lower or closer to 1 the first time, because there was maybe a little bit more water in the pot. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna crack open this fermenter. I wish I had another person here to help me film, but I'm gonna take the original gravity, then we're gonna siphon out of the fermenter into our bottling bucket, and the bottling bucket already has the sugar mixture in it. It's 2 cups of water to 5 ounces of sugar. Priming sugar. I went out to my brewer store and got the priming sugar, and so that's already boiled and in the bottling bucket. So I just did another stupid thing. I couldn't get my auto siphon to work at all. I tried it like 5-6 times. Well, what happened was this frickin' stopper right here. You might as well just take that off. When you're auto siphoning, there's no reason for it to be there. I wish I had known that, because it was locked like tight, and while I was trying to siphon, it was trying to put pressure up through the hose, but it was going back down through the siphon, so I was creating bubbles. Again, that's bad. I figured it out. I found that thing was clamped. I thought I'd unclamped it. But anyway, I got the siphon going. So to operate the siphon, just take it apart or pull the top end, the hook part of it up. Drop the auto siphon in the beer, and then just pump it once, and it should flow. You can pump it again if you want to get it to go a little faster. Now, I did notice a little bit of like dirty, grimy crap did come through the tube. But and when I opened the fermenter, it really did smell like beer. It smells like beer, but you can see it's not carbonated. It's just kind of like soupy, I guess. It's just liquid. It's just brown liquid, but it really does smell like beer. So good sign. There's probably alcohol in it if it smells like beer. And I haven't thiefed the beer yet. I'm gonna do that once it's all in the bottling bucket. And away from the trub, because I don't want to accidentally grab a little bit of trub in the thief. But yeah, other than the problem with the auto siphon, everything was okay for this stage. I'm gonna disconnect the hose once all of it's in the bottling bucket. I'm gonna disconnect the hose and get it ready for my filler, my bottle filler. I did see a video online of a guy who just had a little short piece of tubing, because he likes to bring the bottles up to the bottle filler rather than have a long hose that you use the bottle filler. So that is one thing I might suggest for new brewers out there, is actually get yourself 2 hoses, one for your auto siphon and another just slightly shorter one. I don't think I'd go as short as that guy. He only had like a 3-inch hose. I might get like a 6-inch hose to use with the bottle filler, but that way you can have it already hooked up. You don't have to like take one hose off, or you can have just another clean hose laying there until you're ready to use it. But I'm gonna have to disconnect this hose, put it on the spigot for the bottling bucket, and it's just gonna be kind of a mess. So I would just advise have spare hoses around for all the new homebrewers out there. I think that's it for this section. I really hate that I can't show all these steps as I do them because I have to do like commentary, but yeah, you're learning from my mistakes here, and that's the point. So yeah, just make sure you don't have that clamp down. Doesn't that look beautiful right there? So I bottled up all the beer. It actually came out perfect. It pretty much filled 48 bottles or 2 cases of beer right there, almost perfectly, with like just a little bit left in the tube and then a little bit on the bottom of the bottling bucket. And you can see there's a little bit of that crap on the bottom, so I think that's like dead yeast, maybe some hops in there, but there's like almost no waste. I got most of it out of the fermenter. Where is the fermenter? I can show you the inside of the fermenter. So there's like a ring of crud on the top where it kind of dried to the bottom of the bucket, but there's like a 1/4 inch of sludge at the bottom, and that is dead yeast colony right there, because when the yeast die, they all just sink to the bottom. So that's what we're gonna have to clean away, so we can use this fermenter again. But yeah, it came out to a perfect 2 cases of beer. I capped them. I'm actually sweating a little bit because pouring all the beer into the bottles and then capping them all really quick. You don't want to let too much oxygen get into the beer, but yeah, it's a lot of work. So this is my new dog Dante. He's new to the house as of like Tuesday, so welcome, Dante. So yeah, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of fun though. This first batch of beer, I can't wait like 2 more weeks to actually taste test it and see how it turned out. So I guess you're supposed to let it sit in the bottles for another 2 weeks so it can carbonate, and then it'll be ready to chill and then drink. And like I said, I cannot wait. Hopefully it tastes really good. It smells really good in here. I mentioned that when you open the fermenter, it really does smell like really good smelling beer. It doesn't smell like the extract did. It didn't smell like hops at all. It smelled kind of sweet, really. So it's really got my mouth salivating because I wanna taste it and try it as quickly as I can. And then next week I have my second batch of Hefeweizen, where I did things a little bit differently. I don't think I've mentioned this in the videos before, but the lady at the first homebrew store I went to, she said that the best tip she ever got as a homebrewer was to use different caps, colored caps for different lots of beer. So every batch of beer you make, see if you can, if you can afford it, try to or put a Sharpie mark on them or something. I actually plan on writing somehow on these bottles the date at which you can start chilling and drinking them, because I plan on giving these out to like my girlfriend's father and brother, and I don't want them to crack one open too soon. But yeah, distinguish your batches of beer somehow so that you can know exactly which ones, how they taste over time too, is another thing. So you might want to taste them after the 2 weeks is up, but then keep like a 6-pack lying around for like a couple months, and then see how the aging affects the carbonation, the taste, everything like that. So I plan on doing that as well. But really, that's all. Today was the bottling day was like the easiest thing. I think the hardest thing about today was all the cleaning that you have to do, just to make sure you're not contaminating the beer again. But it was a lot of fun. Oh, and the final gravity for this batch came in at 1.0 0.020. I didn't measure the temperature. I'm sure it was roughly 70 degrees, which is good. So, all right, I think that's it for this video, guys. And I'll try to make another one next week. And hopefully I won't lock up the auto siphon tube next week either.